Greetings and welcome back to the World Numismatic News as we now take a look at Lincoln cent variety coins that you can look for from the 1953 penny issue. And there are quite a few interesting varieties to keep an eye out for from the 1953 penny. Let's start with the 1953 proof Lincoln cent, where we have a very clear doubled obverse example to search for. On this coin, there is some minor doubling on the R, T, and Y letters of Liberty, demonstrated the best by notching towards the upper right flag of the T. But fortunately, this is not the main attraction for this variety, as there is significantly more noticeable doubling evident on the 1 and the 9 of the date. It is the clearest on the 1 and displays towards the right on the southeast of that number. Similarly, though not quite as bold, doubling can then also be found on the 9. Here, mostly towards the inner top cavity as well as on the tail of the number in the same orientation. In 2023, an example of this coin was sold at auction in a PCGS slab with a grade of proof 67 red cameo for no less than $958. Then we have two closely related varieties to find, also from the 1953 proof cent. These are what are known as re-engraved design varieties. It is possible that towards the end of the year the mint required additional proof coins, so they simply took an older die and then recut it by hand to try and strengthen the by now worn out design. On this coin, the FS402 type, it is by far the clearest. Look towards the lower right side of Lincoln's jacket just below the date to see a long raised line along the lower edge. This is where the design was recut by hand. In 2021, an example of this variety coin was sold at auction in an NGC slab, graded as proof 67 star red. It attained a closing price of $559. And then yet another example of this exact same phenomenon is then on display with our next variety. Although, in this case, it is not quite as egregious as the previous coin. Still, here your best indication of the design being recut by hand is on the outer edge of Lincoln's vest and coat. But on this coin, there is a smaller raised line just underneath the 1 of the date. As you can see, it was an attempt to reinforce a part of the design that got worn away from overuse. Due to the fact that this coin is not as dramatic as the previous one, its value is also lower in general. Here we can point towards an example sold at auction in 2023, graded as proof 67 red. It changed hands for $192. From there, we can move away from the proof coins now and on to the circulating strike coins instead, where we promptly find a lovely repunched mintmark variety that greets us from the Denver Mint. And it is a beauty at that too. It is about as clear a case of a repunched mintmark that you can readily find. The initial D mintmark was struck in directly towards the west of the final position, making the mintmark appear to be doubled towards the west, both on the vertical portion of the left, with both serifs clearly intact, as well as in the middle cavity of the D, where the rounding receives the same treatment. An outstanding gem example of this variety was on offer at auction in 2020. Graded as MS67 red, it was sold by Legend Rare Coins for no less than $3,525 by final call. From there, on to another suspected repunched mintmark variety from the Denver Mint. This 1953 D over D coin displays a D-shaped impression southeast of the primary D mintmark, completely separated from the main mintmark location and actually cutting into Lincoln's vest. Now, It should be noted that while the shape is that of a misaligned D, and the size matches up as well, the details of the serifs are not clearly present, and as such it is technically possible that this might be disproved as a true repunched mint mark at some time in the future. However, at this time the coin does enjoy widespread recognition, and even in lower grades the secondary impression remains seen on coins like these. In 2023, a PCGS graded example of this variety at a grade of MS65 red was sold at auction for $288. Subscribe to WNN and feel free to watch another video about the 1952 Lincoln Cent varieties right here next. For the World Numismatic News, I am Numisman saying thank you for watching, keep collecting, and have a fantastic day.